led by Red 1, squadron leader Jim Turner, who's entering that left-hand bend and calling them into 7-arrow formation. The jets now close up to be about 8 feet apart as they form one big red arrow in the sky. Jim is a former Jaguar qualified weapons instructor and Jaguar display pilot, and he was a member of the Red Arrows from 2005 to 2007. This is his first year as leader. More recently, he's been working with the Royal Saudi Air Force's equivalent to the Red Arrows, where he was their official advisor. Reds 4 and 5 rolling back there to reform that 7-arrow formation. As the smoke comes on, the team are forming shuttle formation. Those 4 aircraft on the wings are now dropping back to be abeam Red 6's jet directly behind the leader. While in this position further back, they still fly references on the lead aircraft and just trust the jet only 8 feet away is in the correct place. And from your right hand side, this is the shuttle roll. Red 7 with the blue smoke performs a barrel roll around Red 6 in the vortex. Now to our right hand side is Red 7, who's synchro to Flight Lieutenant Chris Lyndon Smith. He's in his second year with the team and is a former Tornado GR4 pilot with lots of operational experience, having flown over Iraq. He's also a former Hawk QFI and has been in the team since 2011. So now with Red 6 on the left and Red 7 on the right, they're descending down to fly over 400 miles an hour each for the double rolls. Finish their double rolls. Look to your right for Enid as they approach. Reds 1, 4 and 5 have eased up to widen the formation slightly. And as the colour comes on, they fly the Revolution. And position to the left. The next event is from the synchro pair, so look left and right again. This time Red 6 is on our right and Red 7 is on our left. Closing at 800 miles an hour again, they will cross 3 times in a 360-degree 6G turn. This is the carousel. Fair Carousel. If there's an Ellie Jardine listening, I'd like to wish you a very happy 30th birthday from the Red Arrows. Now, if you look to your right 45 degrees, you can see Enid come back for their next manoeuvre. The red, white and blue comes on in battle formation as they fly the Python. Smoke has turned white there, and we produce that smoke by injecting regular diesel fuel into the aircraft's 400-degree engine exhaust, which causes it to vaporize. We make the red and blue colors by simply adding a dye to that diesel, and we can carry 5 minutes of white smoke and a minute each of red and blue in a specially modified container beneath the aircraft fuselage. Look directly to your front now as Synchro Pair come back for another vortex. Aircraft displaying here, we do have another pilot on the team who is Red 8, Flight Lieutenant Dave Davies. He's in his 4th year with the team, but while he doesn't have a role in the display, he does have crucial flying and planning roles. And he and I fly the spare aircraft to the displays and also make up the 9-ship formations for all of the official flypasts this summer. So Synchro now coming down for their final manoeuvre of the show, back down to 100 feet. This is the opposition barrel roll. Red 1 smoke has turned red as he draws the symbol for infinity around the rest of the formation. This is the infinity break. And we are the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. As we look tail on is Red 5 squadron leader Martin Higgins. Higgy is the team's executive officer and has rejoined this year, having previously flown from 2005 to 2007. He's a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado F3 pilot and has operational service in Iraq and as the commander of the air defence flight in the Falkland Islands. As the smoke goes off, the team have straightened the wings to form flanker. As outside pilots have to anticipate their control inputs by using the cadence in Red 1's voice commands. Smoke comes on, Red 1 has called the team into Phoenix formation for an emotional part of this year's routine. When they present Phoenix crowd front, Reds 4 and 5 on the outside will smoke red to remember our lost friends and colleagues, Flight Lieutenant John Egging and Flight Lieutenant Sean Cunningham, who were both tragically killed in separate accidents last year. In Phoenix formation, ladies and gentlemen, this is our memorial bend for Eggman and Sean. Continuing with the theme of remembrance, this year, in fact, the end of last month saw the long-awaited unveiling of the memorial to the Royal Air Force and Commonwealth Aircrew from Bomber Command who lost their lives during World War II. The memorial in Green Park in London honours the 55,573 young men who at the average age of only 22 and all as volunteers lost their lives for our freedom. So now in Vixen formation from your right hand side, some red, white and blue as our own tribute to the personnel of Bomber Command. The formation with white smoke is one of our first year pilots, Red 4, Flight Lieutenant James McMillan. McZ was born in the UK but moved to New Zealand at the age of 10. He eventually joined the Royal New Zealand Air Force but transferred to the Royal Air Force in 2002. He became a Hawk flying instructor and Harrier GR9 pilot. I'd like to say a very warm welcome to McZ's mum and dad who have travelled over from New Zealand to spend the summer and see Jim flying here this afternoon. You see the smoke on now. The team are forming our largest formation shape. This is Concorde. The second jet from the right as we look tail on is flown by another of our first year pilots, Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Martin Pert. Perty is another former Hawk flying instructor and was the solo Hawk display pilot in 2006. He eventually flew the Harrier GR9 operationally with a number of tours in Afghanistan. Out to the left 45 now, you see the smoke coming off. The team have reformed shuttle formation. Reds 4 and 5 roll back, and this is Eagle. Smoke comes on. The team are reforming that 7-arrow formation. As I said, this is a big year for the United Kingdom and we're very honoured and privileged to be taking part in all the major events. So as they come around the corner, we're going to see some more red, white and blue. So if you're feeling very patriotic this afternoon, I'd like a big round of applause please for Her Majesty the Queen and Great Britain. To the left of the leader is the last of our first year pilots, Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Mike Child. Chikey is another former Hawk flying instructor and was the solo Hawk display pilot in 2007. More recently he's been flying the Typhoon, the Royal Air Force's newest fighter, where his duties have been on quick reaction alerts, protecting the airspace of both the UK and the Falkland Islands. Out to our right now in a formation called Short Diamond, this is the Short Diamond roll. The end of the first half of our display, ladies and gentlemen, where you've seen close formation flown in a rather dynamic fashion. We're now going to change the tempo as we show you how the Hawk can perform. The Red Arrows fly the BAE Systems Hawk T1, which was designed as an advanced jet and weapons trainer and has been in service with the Royal Air Force since 1976. It's very agile and precise. We're about to show you why all of our pilots love to fly it. Out to the front you can see the front 5 aircraft are straightening. This is Reds 1 to 5, who we call Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. And you can just see the synchro pair tucked in behind them. directly to your front now to start the second half of the display. The smoke comes on and get your cameras ready for the detonator. Synchro pair remain with us now, red 6 on your left and red 7 on your right as they perform synchronised derry turns to position back towards us. Red 6 on the left is synchro leader Flight Lieutenant Ben Plank. He's in his 3rd year with the team and is another former Hawk flying instructor and Harrier GR9 pilot who flew operationally in Afghanistan before joining the Red Arrows in 2010. They descend down the hill now. They're closing at over 800 miles an hour, just descending to 100 feet above the runway. This is the Synchro Pass. Turning away from us at 6G, or 6 times the force of gravity, and everything in their bodies weighs 6 times more than normal. So they're working physically hard to counter those G-forces. As they roll out back towards the airfield, this is the Cyclone. Slingshot out to the front, look to your left for the 5 headlights of Enid as they approach for the first of their second half manoeuvres. The inside pilots perform tight match barrel rolls to the outside of the formation as they fly the rollbacks. Dynamic rollbacks, and as they position out to the right, look directly to your front. 7, the Red Arrows. And all who volunteered to join the team. While the pilots wear red suits, as to have been invited to take part in both events with various flight paths throughout the summer. We like to think we represent the very best of British, and we aim to do just that at these events.